certain people can feel better about themselves.
Well, you know what? I spent 29 years not even knowing I hated myself. And then once I discovered that, I fixed a lot of that. Now I love myself. Go through too much shit. I know I got issues. The point is, we need to get over this whole, like, we as a human mass need to get over this I bullshit. The more we start thinking about the next person and, like, what we can do to make their lives better, all of us as a whole will feel better. But honestly, we all need to die. Not all of us, but, like, 90%. Like, a reverse decimation. That's still, what, 1.5 billion people? That's a lot of fucking people.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with you that we think too singularly, and that we're way too fixated on ourselves, and it's and it's not every individual's fault that happened too. It was our collective consciousness that sort of agreed to move into this direction. When we accepted it with open arms. We accepted the more communication and all that shit with, just wide open arms. And now look where we're at.
Right. Well, nature's supposed to cull us. Like, every 10,000 years, this happens. And we're, like, 200 years late. Diseases are starting to make a comeback. So, like, maybe that's a slow culling. But the more people there are, the less chances we have at making things better. But it also, this is the opposite, too. Because there's a lot of us working really hard to make things good. And so, like, with more people, there's more chances of that, more babies being born, and those babies having the chance of being better people.
Yeah.
So Ouroboros are fucked, though, because it could be good and bad. Double-edged sword.
Yeah, I mean...
A kunai.
I mean, for me, it just seems like a convergence of a lot of different things. Because on one hand, we seem to be on, like, the preface of just total annihilation. We have like you were talking about, the environmental factors. We have the like societal factors of everyone just being so disenfranchised across the globe. You know what I mean? We have just like so many different factors working in our like opposition towards moving forward.
To fucking feed a kid.
I mean, shit, yeah. But on the same token, there's a lot of these great things happening, like born out of that suffering. Like there's the newer generation, like as much shit as I've been saying, like there's this newfound like togetherness, and realization that like skin color doesn't mean as fucking much, and that arbitrary shit like what, gender you are or whatever the fuck you decide to be, like whatever that means to you, it doesn't really mean that much.
Be you male, female, or unicorn.
Yeah, exactly. Like whatever the fuck you want to be, because at the end of the day, like, people are more and more young people are realizing like whatever the fuck you do in the privacy of your own home is the privacy of your own home, and it doesn't affect us.
Yeah, eventually maybe we'll all learn how to mind our own damn business. Yeah. Stop judging others. Treat others nicely. But until then, I was about to say the exact opposite, and I'm glad I held myself back. You deserve kindness. Lots of wall breaks today.
Shit, we could all use a little empathy for one, or maybe, I mean, you can't empathize with everything, but at least sympathy.
Yeah, just at least care enough to fucking try.
Yeah. And I mean, the most important part is on the interpersonal level. The most important part is like, what can I do to help my fellow bros and sisters out? It's all about doing good by your people.
Yeah, I do my best in this like fucking young ass trap metal community to like keep us all going. Like I communicate with anywhere between like, I don't know, 20 to 50 people a day.
Wow.
I meet like new producers on a regular fucking basis that just like want to say something, and or lately I've been getting beats, which has been really cool because like it's given me more than enough to like work with, and I'd needed that really hard when my relationship was like it was already dead, but like when we were still living together and stuff and like acting like it was still alive, I needed something to focus on because it was hard to survive long enough to finish the album, you know?
Yeah.
I laugh at it now, but like, you know, that was only, 2 months ago?
Yeah.
So I recorded it. I wrote and recorded all but 2 of those tracks in December. And then, no, I wrote and recorded 9 of those tracks, 9 of the 11 in December. And then the next 7 I wrote in that next 3 days and recorded a month later, all here. But yeah, I mean, it was quick.
Yeah. And then, I mean, coupled with her leaving is the...
Finally leaving. That was only like 10 days ago.
Yeah, I mean, fine. You're so fresh in this phase.
Dude, yeah.
But it's like, there's, I mean, we talked about it before, but it's a good topic, like that fear and also that great opportunity of being able to rebuild yourself now is...
Seriously.
It's so, you're in those crucial baby steps of it, you know?
There was a very small circle that communicated with me, like after my ex, whose name will definitely be withheld.
Yeah. And I mean, after events like that, you really find out who your friends are.
Yeah, and you know the funny thing is, it was like one stranger and one person I know through somebody else completely like unrelated that like did the most work.
But I mean, yeah, that's where I feel grateful. You know, it's like I've lost a lot of friends recently, and to like different factors, and it's and it was hard to go through. You know, that whittling down of my circle. But it's like now that I've really come to the end of that, I'm grateful for the whole experience. You know, and I'm grateful to find out like really where my people lie within that close circle, and it makes me grateful that I have them in my life because it makes me appreciate those people that I should be caring about even more.
There was nobody around to be like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Look at all those red flags. I mean, myself, but
and I mean,
I obviously
honestly,
wasn't listening to me.
Yeah, and I mean, and honestly, it's like been there from a friend standpoint too. It's like, God, as much as you can say, it's almost like stopping the inevitable, you know, because those magnets are going to attract, and you almost have to just support them and love them and just try to nudge them in the right way until they finally demagnetize, and then it hurts when you can't touch again.
Right. Like, fucking mental illness it's hard, you know, especially when you don't have support.
Yeah.
Like,
and it makes you so insulated.
Yeah.
And just cower within yourself.
You literally wrap yourself up and just stay the fuck away from everything.
Yeah.
You know, and through the trap metal community, because I've only been doing this for the 16th of March will be a year. You know, and through this community, I mean, I met, there's this Canadian guy who's fucking I love him so much. His Abracadaver. He brought me into my first group chat that was outside of the AOL days. You know, like, because apparently I'm a boomer. But like, I mean, I was born 4 years after that shit. I don't think boomer's a bad word. I think it's just like a group of a younger generation trying to understand a hardworking generation that was before their time. It's like, because I mean, I practically am that generation, you know. I was a kid at the end of it.
Yeah. Well, we've talked a lot before about nostalgia, and I always think it's interesting because it's very tempting to look at the past with rose-colored glasses.
Oh,
know?
yes,
and
indeed.
And see exactly what you want and pick out the best parts, and it penetrates every part of culture, whether it be hip hop or, you know, just general American history.
American History X. Fucking curb stomping, man. Great fucking movie. I mean, not because of the curb stomping part, but you know.
Yeah, no. Well, I do have to say, it's always a good conversation when we get together. Glad we can finally make it all work out. I'm hyped.
I'm pretty sure, like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it worked.
Third time's the charm.
Yeah.
Third time's the charm. Absolutely. Well, people of the internet, thank you for joining us. Oh, I gotta do that again? Because I hit the fucking mic with my dumb ass.
The mic right into your mouth.
Oh, shit.
Oh, hello, Satan.
Bro moment. People of the internet, thank you for joining us today on this podcast. As always, my name is Ari Grove, ARII.GROVE. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, all that good shit. Check out my new album, The Cost of Innocence. It is on Bandcamp. You can tell me how trash it is in my DMs. Please, I welcome it. And where can we find you?
I am Mammoniel 999 on Instagram. I am Mammoniel. Fuck, what is those numbers? You know what? Honestly, just try not to fucking get at me on Discord. It's a shit show. So hit me up on Instagram. Or, I probably said my whole name. I don't give a fuck. Hit me up on Facebook. I don't use Facebook, but I sure as fuck use Messenger.
At me.
At me. You know, just like, I think Mammoniel. Mammoniel. Get at me.
Boom. Perfect.
Drops the mic that's hanging there.
It's a wrap.